I have one good thing to say when I step up onto my podium today, and I'm gonna keep it short and simple and sweet. I feel like this is one of the most, if not the, anticipated day that everyone has been waiting for. The world is shining on us today because, ladies and gentlemen, it's finally the painting day. Every single person is like, Morgan, for the love of God, just pick a paint color. Like, it's not that big of a deal. White dove, simply white, white duck. We're getting a lot of the duck family in here. Gray mist, alabaster, and Swiss coffee. You can say a lot of things about me, but you can't say that I'm a person that doesn't like to fully think things through. Right now, I like white duck.
I know, me too. We really loved simply white and white dove. And then we would get to the other side of the house and we would really like white duck or gray mist. So it's important to do different samples all at different places of the house in the different lighting.
This is really what's different versus if you were building a house from the ground up, which at this point, like, I might as have fucking well, but I didn't. When you're doing like a full remodel situation, it's like there's some things that I already have that I want to keep intact, okay? Like the beam. The beam is brown. I love the beam. I think the beam is so cute. We're not changing the beam, but I have to accept that, like, the beam is brown. The roof is brown as brown could be. Would I have picked a brown roof? No. Am I gonna go out of my way to pay for a new roof? No. Ooh, I think I have it. The front door is like this oaky brown color. Love. I'm working with a lot of exterior factors here, and that changes my decision on things greatly, like by a lot. Like, Grandma,
What?
which paint color do you like the best?
Number 2.
That if you're sitting out here, is it gonna be like too white in your face?
I guess you're right. But I thought you wanted a white house.
That's the truth, T. I know everyone thinks I'm crazy. I also think that I'm crazy. You know, like the look when like your dog pees on your couch and it's like, no, yeah. I'm being serious. Like, you clean it, but it never gets back to white, and it's kind of like that. Are we gonna get over that and just realize that it's a different color? I don't know. Maybe. I'm gonna paint the house, and the money is gonna come out of my bank account. So I want to be happy with it. So it's like, if I want to look through 1,000 shades of whites, just like let me look through a thousand shades of whites.
I like simply white here. So it's like white duck 2, simply white 2.
Yeah, the other ones are almost too starky white, like paper white. Things usually turn out good, you know? Like things. So this is the color that I chose. Sherwin-Williams White Duck. I've been telling everyone duck season is approaching us. The ducks are coming to town. Go Oregon. So that's my final decision. Everyone is sealing shit up because they're painting. That's the white duck.
That is.
So it's white.
Yeah.
It's not yellow.
Oh, dude, no. Look how good that looks.
No, that is hot. You want to say who you are? This is always the best light.
Hey guys, how are you? Justin from Attention to Detail Painters.
I missed his whole spiel. He gave me like the most informative, detailed speech ever, and then I was like, wait, I should have got that.
We're having fun on this house. So this house, we're getting to do brick, stucco, and it is game changer on color change. You went for brown, red brick, and look how sharp it looks. Like, this is a fun one. This is a transition house. There's houses that you do that are similar colors. Then there's transition houses. You're getting a transition house.
Yeah, we're changing the whole damn thing.
Yeah, it looks sweet. And the type of paint that we're using is called elastomeric. The reason you use that elastomeric paint is just like it sounds, elastic. All stone, whether it be stucco, brick, moves. White, doesn't matter what color you paint it. Gets hot and it swells. It gets cold and it shrinks. You don't have elastomeric, it'll actually crack.
You look great over there.
So that's Juan. Juan's our foreman. The reason we call him Happy is look at the smile on his face. Always smiling, right? So his nickname is Happy.
He comes here just to be the cheerleader. How many shades of white are there?
1,000 shades of white. 1,000. When you're picking something that's so close, we call it paralysis by analysis, right? You're like, oh my gosh, I have 5 up there. I like them all. But then your brain just starts literally paralyzing your thought. The coolest thing about painting brick is you keep texture. You keep character of texture.
The painter loves painting brick.
I love painting
People
brick.
get really mad about it.
They get people in neighborhoods, like we'll be painting and they'll come up in the neighborhood and be like, what are you doing to the brick? People drove by that one in Parker I showed you we did. People stopped and just...
Yeah.
When he goes back in back rolls, he'll press all that paint into all the creases and the crevices and stuff.
How much paint do you use for a house like this?
Between 40 and 50 gallons for this house.
Is this like a one coat situation?
Yeah, so what we do is we use a heavier nozzle. It's technically you're getting 2 coats is what you're getting. We're doing it in one spray. And the heavier and the more density there is in the paint is the thicker you can spray it. This has a ton of clays in it, so you can spray it super thick. He's so good at spraying. I love watching him.
I know, he's like an artist.
I know.
I feel like I'm watching Picasso at work.
It is. So that's a 24-foot ladder, right? We have 40-foot ladders.
Oh, hell no. I have Brian working on his Instagram skills. Look at him. He's gonna become like a stage dad. Look at your aesthetic shot. You look like you're in a movie. Give us your 411.
Well, I love the way the stucco is blend, all the patching. I love the paint job that Justin has done with the elastomeric. I think the color that you chose is beautiful.
Woohoo! Oh, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, back to the corporate ladder yet again. Good news is that the days that we painted the house, which were last Thursday and Friday, it's now Monday, it wasn't pouring rain, so paint stuck to the house, looks fabulous. I keep coming like multiple times a day just to make a lap so I can look at the paint color because it just makes me like a little I can't think about it. Oh my gosh, I can't think about it too much. Every time I drive up my driveway, I'm like, I am literally gonna cry because there's no way that that's my house. Like there's no way.
Cause that man is trouble, you best beware. And though deep down, I know I might be headed for teardrops. Now that you got me started, I just can't stop. No, no.
There's no way. My Taco Bell yellow house? Like that's not my house. Me calling it a Taco Bell house isn't a drag. It's just like a little change up, you know? We're giving the Taco Bell a little makeover. They're coming this morning to put up the 2 balconies that go on the back side of the house. I kind of just like went with my gut on these. Like I had a vision in my head. That is one of my fatal flaws in life is that I can see the vision in my head, but I can't like, I can't for the life of me get the screen that's in my head, the vision, the movie that I'm watching, like I can't get it across to someone else. So I was just crossing my fingers, dotting my I's, hoping for the best. There was a balcony that was already on one of the sliding doors out there. It was beautiful, amazing, spectacular, but it just wasn't cohesive with my entire vision that I'm going for. And by the time I have a final product, I don't want it to look Mod Podge together. You know, I want everything to be cohesive. So they took that balcony down, took it to the little welding shop. They re-welded it so I was able to reuse what I already had and just metamorphose it into a different form. So now I have 2 new balconies that are the same. And once I show you that they're the same, you'll be like, oh yeah, they both should have been the same instead of one being the vision and one being completely like from a different optometrist, you know? So that's the update. Paint is done, balconies popping in. Exterior to house, giant piece of pizza that's the best cut pizza in the whole damn pizza. Same thing, same little ooey gooey feeling, like the feel good, like ooh, I won, I got the good piece of pizza. Should we go eat pizza? I often think about when I come up here, like what if the ladder just fell? What if it just went in half and then I was stuck up here with nothing but a camera and no way down? That would probably be the last of the series. But that's not gonna happen. Okay. Yeah, Grandma, what are you thinking about this whole thing now?
Well, I just think it's great, Morgan.
You finally think that this was a good idea?
Yeah.
I want to like walk around because I know that everyone's gonna have questions, comments, concerns. Okay, so if you start right, we'll stop right here. I'm gonna take you on a little interactive tour. You know how they do those on Zillow and you can like walk through? I'm gonna show you all the things that you would be like, that's horrifying, before you could say it's horrifying. You look at those lights, those are prison lights. I swear, the Denver County Jail has the same lights as those for when prisoners run out and like they try to catch them. So all of these lights that you see still have to be changed, but they just put them back up there for like, you know, functionality purposes. They don't work. I don't have electricity, so I don't know what the function is. Me like 2 years ago was like, oh, I want a white house with black trim. And me now is like, oh, I just want a white house without black trim. Indecisive woman. Can you show it to me on like a piece? He did it happily. He put a black strip on the gutter over there. Brown roof with the black gutters just wasn't doing anything. It was horrifying. As a reminder, just because it's my opinion does not mean that I am right. So I had them just like paint everything white. In an ideal world, eventually, once I have to change out all the gutters, I would do a little copper gutter situation. But like, as of today, right now, May, I don't need new gutters. I'm gonna do all the things that like I need first, and then I'm gonna see if I'm still standing, and then we can go pick apart all these things. Yeah, you can see my yard. I still haven't figured that out. But what we're here to look at is the paint. Like, mission accomplished for the week. You can see still the hole for the front door. Why I don't have a front door? It's floating in the ocean somewhere, lost at sea. In like the wheel of the color theory, I don't know who made that shit up. Is that Roy G. Biv? Is he a person? No one knows. No one, sorry Roy. I'm pretty sure he's dead. So
It's not a person.
Roy G. Biv, whoever you are out there, I don't know where you are. I wanted to like use your little system and like match an undertone of white that would match to the brown, and that sounds crazy, but it's a real thing. Ask Roy. Wherever he is. These are all my white windows that I can now just embrace. The white windows are mine because I was not going to replace all those white windows. When we did all of the swatches, I think that the white duck just looked yellow in comparison to the ones that were super duper paper white, but on its own, it doesn't look yellow. And that was my thing, right? I was like, I do not want it to look like a dog pissed on my house, and I like tried to rub it off. But good news, everyone, if you want to paint your house white duck, it doesn't turn out yellow. It's just a trick in your mind. Don't put it next to the Simply White because it does look yellow next to that. But on its own, it shines. I do have this one little functional sidewalk. This might be the most functional piece of landscaping that I have. It's very nice, very nice. Balconies turned out super good. I drove past Restoration Hardware the other day and I was like, oh my God. They have the same thing and I didn't even know it. They stole my vision before they even knew it was my vision. A bunch of different lighting stores, and you would not believe. There are stores that will charge you $5,000 for a light that goes outside. And I only know this because I'm in the market for all new exterior lights. I'm like, what is... Sometimes I see things and I'm like, we as a society really have lost control. Like, go to Costco. I think that's really it. I was super scared, right? Because I'm like, I don't want to fuck this up. After all this time that I've spent, like I've had 2.5 years to pick a paint color. If I picked the wrong one, I would have... Painters themselves, 10 out of 10. Justin needs his own YouTube channel. He was like, phenomenal. I was like, can I film you? And he was like, I can't believe that you're not. House is painted. To the brick community, I'm really sorry. I hope that you find the support you need through this time. But also, like, thank God, you don't have to live here. I fucked up 4 major times, I would say, and I can remember all of them. And I can own up to all of them. One was when I came out as straight, which like, I didn't know. Okay, 2017, I didn't know. Everyone was asking me if I was a lesbian and I was like, I have to like say something. I know better now. Second time, I called New Mexico a 1-star state, but I've never been there. Third was the Bird Box Challenge. And the fourth was when I painted that fake brick wall. It was literally plastic. All those boys had stapled to the wall because they were like, we're gonna make this like a vibey New York Loftville. Me and my brother painted it white. Oh, of all of the things that I've done wrong, people were ready to, just putting my apologies out there. Might I add though, they already didn't make the brick that was on this house, so when we patched up the brick, they had to use a different brick. So had I had left it, it would have looked like shit. I fixed it. I helped it.
You had no other choice.
I had no, thank you, thank you. I had no other choice. I was backed into a corner. They like literally had like a water gun in my head and they were like, paint the damn house or else. And I said, listen, I'm not here to fight with the government anymore. I'm a good tax-paying citizen and I do my due diligence and I work with what I have and this is what I ended up with. Thank you all for coming. Subscribe to my channel because I'm like not okay. No, I'm okay. Thank you all for coming by. Was that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. You know I can't do one of these without having some thought process that I have spent way too much time overthinking about as a conclusion. Chicken coop confessional of the week. You know how on your phone it comes up this time last year and then it shows you some photo that's gonna make you think about like, oh my gosh, that person's not in my life anymore, that thing's not in my life anymore. Sometimes it's all deep and heavy and sometimes it's like, oh, I was eating ice cream like this day a year ago. Like, good for me, congratulations, you know? This sounds so dramatic, but it was this day last year that I was like, oh, I'm fucked. I am capital F-U ucked. I was in love. Safe to say that that one didn't work out. I was moving out of my apartment in LA. Had come to the realization like, oh, I have to move all my stuff out of LA and my house is supposed to be done by now. That one was not good, right? I was moving out of my apartment. I didn't know where to tell the movers. They were like, where are you moving to? And I was like, I don't know. Don't know. No idea. So that was the day that I emailed my attorney. To the day, today, this time last year. And I was like, hey, I think I'm in a bad situation. And they were like, yeah, you're in a bad, really bad situation. And I thought it was gonna be a little, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 email exchange and then it was all gonna go away and I could move on with my life. No. You know, and kind of up until that point, I had spent a lot of time running around, you know, like every single week I was going back and forth from LA to Colorado. Every time any sort of conflict like rose to the surface at all, I was like, oh my God, I'm taking the shit out of the microwave. I'm going to the airport and I'm getting my ass to somewhere else. The first instinct of like, oh, something's not going right today. I was like, well, it seems like it's time for me to call the Uber and it seems like it's time for me to just go to the airport. One person pissed me off in one state. Oop, I'm going to see my other boyfriend in the next state. Was it like a healthy time of my life? No, you definitely wouldn't say that. My therapist was like, appalled. I think the thesis of what I learned from that is that running away from your problems will not fix your problems. When I had to look at myself in the mirror and be like, these are all problems that I created, like that is the part that really sucks. Gravity pulled me down to the center of Colorado and was like, you are going to stay here. Like, you are not flying to another state tomorrow. You are not having an apartment in another city. You are not like having boyfriends in all states across the world. Like, you are just not. This world looked at me and said, Morgan, you're done. No more running. Track season's over. Congratulations. You get to be here. You get to be here. Now that I've had the time for the past year to really like sit here, when I look around, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I wouldn't trade this version of my life for anything. Like, this is everything to me. The people in my life are everything to me, and like, my family is everything to me, and being close to all the people that I love is everything to me, because it was always just what's next. I wanted that like instant gratification. I was never happy anywhere because I never took the time to like really just be somewhere. And now that I've done that, I'm like, oh my God, I don't ever want to leave ever again. My family's like, we should go to LA next week. And I'm like, for what? Like, what if something happens at home? Like, I need to be at home. I went from like, oh, I could not get out of wherever I am fast enough to like, oh my gosh, I can't leave next month. What if something happens? I want to be at home. Like, I want to be with all my people. I want to be with all my places. I want to be with my life at home. Like, you can't take me out of here. You can't take me out of here. I can stop talking about me for a second. My message to you, if you are someone who is at all like me, you look around wherever it is that you live or whatever it is that your situation is and you're like, well, everyone else on Instagram is doing something more exciting and everyone lives somewhere cool and everyone lives in like New York or LA. Everyone's moving and like doing something amazing and cool and special with their life and I'm just stuck in my hometown or I'm just stuck in a place that I don't want to be. You can really make the most special life anywhere. Like where my house is, the most lackluster place that like anyone could ever visit. Someone was like, you should Airbnb your house. I'm like, babe, no one's coming to vacation here. I have a King Soopers and a Chili's and a Maverick. My top 3 hotspots, you know, like when people come to town, they're like, oh, what do you do? Like, what's the cool, fun thing? Do you have like a Nobu or like a anything? I'm like, we can literally go to Chili's. We could go to Olive Garden, like if you really want to get crazy. Granted, I had my like little downtown moment. Where I'm going to end up, oh, nothing special is going on. Lackluster as fuck, landlocked playground. Oh my gosh, most full and whole life that I have experienced in my lifespan thus far is in my hometown that I spent my entire life trying to get out of, okay? If you want to move somewhere, you should absolutely move somewhere. But always know that like when you want to go home, you can go home and there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to go back to your hometown, go back to your hometown because I can tell you, when I first bought this house, I was like, oh shit, what did I do? And now I'm like, oh my God, I would literally never leave here because like, this is everything to me. And like, this is the most special place in the world. And like, I love it so much and it's not even done and I've never even lived here. But like every time I drive up my driveway, I want to cry because it's just so fucking special because it just like brought me to me, you know? If you feel like you're behind in life, you're not. If you feel like your hometown sucks, it might, but like you could make it to where it doesn't, you know? I don't want to get all like spiritual woo-woo on you, but you know, sometimes I just have a message to say, and this is my message that I want to say. Every time I feel like life is taking something away from me, I look back at my like a year ago, and then I look at where I am now and I'm like, oh, it wasn't taking something away from me. Like there was something better for me. When I look out here, all I think all the time is this is what was better for me. And like I'm so happy with that and I'm so content with that and I'm so just grateful for that, to be in a place that I feel safe, like in a place that I feel myself, in a place that I'm like surrounded by people that I love all the time. Yeah, you don't always have to be running on to the next thing. I have talked for 40 minutes. The battery's flashing, the camera card's gonna die. That was my chicken coop confessional of the week. I'm so sorry if that was like way TMI, but I love you so much. If you feel like no one in your life is rooting for you, just know that I am, because everyone has the capacity to go out there and make the best version of themselves however they want to do it. And if your best version of you isn't what people think that it should be, tell them to chicken cluck the fuck right off, because only you know what's best for you. And only you know what's going to make you happy, and only you know where you should go. So don't let people on social media tell you jack crap anything after I, a person on social media, just tried to tell you jack crap a lot. Did I have to end a painting video with like an entire emotional speech? Like, yes, of course I did, because it's me. And that's just like what I always want to do, because I always just want to chit chat. I always just want to catch up with all my people, and I love you so much. I hope you have an amazing week. Okay, bye. Literally every time I can't even make this like a why? I don't understand it. I don't even try to, because I don't even care anymore. You know what? You know how I feel lately? Everyone just do whatever the hell they want. I don't care anymore. If it makes you happy, so be it.